Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, September 16th. It is 6:18 right now. Market's gonna open in about 12 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update. Stream's kind of lagging a bit today, mainly on the YouTube, but looks like it's starting to pick back up. Yeah, what's up with the YouTube? It's been kind of taking forever to start up this past week. But it looks like we are good here. So let me go ahead and send this link out to you guys here in the premium. All right. Link is sent out. Looks good. So as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. So I'm not going to go super, I'll go on the daily real quick. Let's mark whatever is really close by. It's getting close to that all-time high. Now into the 2 hour. Down to the 1 hour. Down to the 30 minute. Down to the 10 minute. Back down to the 1 minute. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, September 16th. It is 6:22 right now. Market's going to open in about 8 minutes. So I've marked up liquidity over here. Closest level of liquidity above is at 41,548, and the closest level below is at 41,507. Here's our clean chart. I'll mark up some zones later once market is actually opened. Here's the SR chart. I'll mark up some SR zones here. All right, so I think that's it for that. 5 minutes. I mean, it looks like we're good. All right, so I marked up pretty much the zones here. Market's a little choppy, but let's see what happens here on open. And just a heads up, guys, if you guys didn't see the, I mean, if you logged into your NinjaTrader or you logged into your TraderVate, there should have been a pop-up telling you that we're rolling over contracts into the December contract. So just be aware that we are shifting over to the December contract. On NinjaTrader, I'm currently on the December contract, and on TraderVate, I'm also on the December contract as well. So let's see. See, max hit on NinjaTrader, YM price is showing at the 41. Mine is currently at 41,914 on mine right now. That's one that you should be focusing on because that's one that you're actually be executing trade. So if you guys don't want to trade on the continuous, you can go back to, you can just go to Wyman and put it on the December contract. I guess we can just do that because that's going to be the case anyways. So it should look like this. On the December contract. It's YMZ 2024. Some adjustments here. I might have to trade on this one because I don't think the continuous is lining up with it right now. I just drew all of the zones on the other one too. So I might have to trade on this one for today, guys, because of the I think the price difference is gonna be slightly different. Let's see. So it's 31. I think when the market actually opens, it's gonna get closer, but I think yeah, as of right now, the pricing difference is different, of course. So I'll just go ahead and redraw up everything on here real quick. Let me just go over to the daily. I should have did that before I drew it up, but it's okay. It's not gonna take that long to draw up liquidity here. AR. I'm not gonna go super far out. It's not really necessary because we don't have that much data here. Minute, went over to the 15. A minute. A minute. And we're back to normal here. All right, so I marked up liquidity right there. Closest level of liquidity above is at 41,966, and the closest level below is at 41,900. So you're pretty much spot on with that right there, Max. Going back to the SR zones, the SR zones aren't going to change very much. I guess I can redraw these two. It's always an issue when it comes to the rollover. I mean, it's not the zones aren't going to be, there's not going to be anything wrong with that. The problem is the pricing, because the pricing is going to be a little bit off between the older contracts and the current contract. So because we're rolling over, we just have to make some small adjustments here. I mean, if you're getting in at exact price points, then yeah, you'll have to make some adjustments to the actual contract you're trading on. But if you're not trading at price, then it's not really a big deal. But if you are, of course, it's gonna be a big deal because Like for Max, for example, if he's trading liquidity, he needs to know exactly where he needs to get in from. So I've changed it right there to the December contract. We'll probably switch back to the continuous maybe later this week once it's kind of caught up. But right now we're going to have to trade on the actual December contract. So for the hey Jonathan, morning. I know you're in Hawaii right now, huh? So it's about 3 a.m. over there. Super, super early for you. So looking over here at the breakout for the day, guys. The breakout is going to be a sell for the day. I was going to take it on my Apex accounts, but I'm just going to take it on my Top Step because it might take a long time for it to hit, and I don't want to be stuck in this position if I'm trying to take the scalps. So the breakout for today is going to be a sell, guys. Just a heads up. You guys are looking to take it. Range manipulation. Reversal from current direction. All right. So I'll be looking to take here. Sell. And I'm only taking this on one of my accounts on my Top Step. I'm not taking on my Apex accounts because it's 3, 2, 1. Market is now open. We go with market now open. We'll see where this ends up going. Let's mark this up there. All right, so let me just make sure everything here is proper. This is supposed to be at 70. Everything looks right. All right, so I'll come back to that in a little bit. Liquidity here just got hit. If you guys took any of the levels of liquidity right here, they just got hit. Looks like the breakout didn't play out for today, which is completely fine. The breakout is not a last week was good. So last week was a I think it was like 4-1, so 1 loss, 4 wins. I think the same situation is this week. So I had a loss on Monday, but then I had a win on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So price spiked up right here. The breakout initially did not play out, but it's probably going to play out here. Looks like it just got manipulated, and it's probably going to come right back down. But it's okay. I took it on my Top Step only, so I lost the usual amount, 1,500. So when I take the breakout, it's a 1-to-1. It's either going to be 1,500 in profit or 1,500 in loss. I'm still pretty heavy up in profit from last week. So first breakout for the day was not successful, unfortunately, but it looks like it might just get manipulated back down. So I just had that opening spike right there. Back to our regular scalp. So let me go back to our normal chart. So I'm looking for the market flow V2s. If you guys are not familiar with the V2s, either review last week's session or review the mentoring session from last week. So looking over here at liquidity, pretty much all these levels of liquidity got hit. So depending on which one you guys decided to take, there was one right here, there was one right here, one right here, and there's 2 up here, all levels of liquidity. I'm not necessarily taking liquidity, so I'm going to wait for price to retrace back a little bit, bounce off the pivot, and swing right back up. But before I take that entry, I'll be looking for the market here to stabilize a little bit. It's kind of moving a little erratic and a little volatile. So I'm going to wait for this here to kind of slow down a little bit. And then once it slows down, I'll be looking for price to climb back down, bounce off the pivot, and shoot right back up. So back to what I was saying with the breakouts, guys. The breakouts, I'm not taking them on my Apex accounts. I'm only taking them on my Top Step accounts, just one account. So the risk is pretty minimal. It happens once a day on open, and it's not always going to hit. So if you guys are looking for a strategy that has a high win rate, it's not going to be the breakout. The breakout is going to have like a slightly above profit win-loss ratio. I think last week was pretty high. We have the data over here if you guys have not seen it, or if you guys haven't looked at the spreadsheet. So if you guys, I've updated the spreadsheet. So if you guys look at it over here, all the breakouts from last week, I think we had, and I'll come back to the charts right now shortly. Yeah, last week and the week before, we've had a pretty good week. So last week, we only had 1 entry that didn't work out, and the rest were wins. So this month of September has actually been pretty solid if you guys have seen the updated spreadsheet here. August was not so great. That's pretty typical for August. It's usually a break-even month for us. But for so far for September, it's been pretty solid. So I'll update the here, and I'll put this over here real quick too, so that we can have. So what I was anticipating here is I was anticipating a reversal. Price obviously didn't reverse here, but that was what I was anticipating for the breakout. Price actually spiked all the way up. I was anticipating a reversal because I was expecting a bullish push for Wednesday. So if you guys know, the interest rates are coming out on Wednesday. It's going to be cut. It's going to be between a 25 basis points or 50 basis points. So either way, it's going to be good for the economy. But it is going to depend on what's released on Wednesday. So I'm expecting market to be a bit manipulated up until Wednesday. Just want to put that up there so we don't miss it. I'm going to put that into the spreadsheet later. Let me clean up the liquidity zones right here. So if you guys took any levels of liquidity, they all hit full TP, whether you took the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, or fifth one right here. They all pretty much hit, but we're done with this liquidity, so I'm going to clean it up. But back to what I was saying with the interest rate cuts on Wednesday, that's kind of what everybody's looking for. Is you're probably going to see a lot of market manipulation from now until then, but after then we should get like a bullish push. So I'll be looking for a possible market flow version 2 here, guys. So the volatility here has kind of died down a little bit. I'll be looking for a possible market flow V2. I'm gonna let price kind of come down slightly. It's kind of too high right now. So I'm gonna put a pending order once it comes down a little closer, and then I'm gonna look for a market flow V2 down here. All right, I'm gonna make sure that the candles here are kind of moving a little bit smoother first before I look for entry. I don't want to get caught in these spikes of manipulation because that's what we'd be worried about the most here. It's just the spikes in price. All right, so it's starting to slow down a little bit. I'm going back to my older TP stop loss 1030. Okay, so the volatility here is starting to die down a little bit. I'm gonna put wait, what happened? Oh, wrong account. So I'll put my pending order
submitted
right here. So I got a pending buy limit right here. So I'm looking for price to come down, fill my order, and shoot right back up. Let's see. It's up a little higher. All right, so it got filled right there.
order submitted
The volatility here is not very consistent. I'm hoping that the volatility here kind of, I was hoping it would just trigger it and then swing up. That's kind of what I'm waiting for right here. But the volatility spike here is a little heavy. Took a smaller contract size here, 5 contracts. So if I lose this, it's basically equal to 1 loss that I normally would lose. Let's see if here it swings back up. Stop down. It's all good. So I lost about 600 on that trade right there, guys, which is not a big. It's not a big loss because typically on the trades, that's how much I lose anyways for the market flow entries. So unfortunately, I got stopped out on this trade right here, and for me, I'm going to be done taking trades on my own accounts. So since I'm back to my negative risk reward, what I'm doing now is I'm pretty much just taking my trades, and if I have one loss for the day, I'm pretty much done. I'll keep looking for some more trades here, but for my own accounts, I don't trade on tilt, I don't overtrade. I'm going to be trading. I'm going to stop trading on my own personal accounts, but I'll keep looking for entries here. So we'll look for some more market flow entries here. Unfortunately, again, like I said, you're going to see some manipulation earlier in the week because we have the interest rate news coming out on Wednesday. What I was looking for here for this entry is I was looking for price to come down, bounce off the pivot, and shoot right back up. But because there's no consistency here with the volatility of each candle, so this candle right here was pretty big. I was hoping these candles were going to stay small like these right here. And you can see now price is pushing back up. There's just no consistency with regard to with the candle size. But I'll look for some more examples here. If I see some more examples, I'll show you another one for the market flow V2s. This is still something new that we're testing out. Not really testing out, but I am taking them on my actual accounts, but I'll show you an example that would be considered a good one. This right here, I wasn't expecting this candle to be so big. I was hoping it to be small like this, but unfortunately, that's what I got caught in. And I'm going to eat that loss and move on to the next trading day. So one loss for me today to start off the week. And you can see here, price is pushing back up. This is what I was hoping for. I was looking for price to come down really quick, then push right back up to hit my TP. But it's all good. Eat that loss there and move on to the next one. So if the sell signal doesn't come up, there's still going to be opportunities here for a buy. So the sell signal here is still pending, and there's still going to be opportunities here for a buy. It's just since I've taken my loss, I'm not going to hop back into another one. I'm going to leave it as is, and then we'll see if anything else comes up here next. Let's see, Jason said more buys, money was in the market. Get most of the buy. Nice. So did you get it in later, Jason, with your entry? I was following the analysis that you shared because so for the breakout, it was range, manipulation, reversal, right? And that's how I was expecting the reversal to happen here. All right, so price is coming back up right here. If price breaks and closes past the pivots, guys, there will be possible opportunity here for another market flow entry.
Order filled.
That was weird. Okay, so like, that was weird. So for half of my accounts, I don't know what happened, but there were still a couple entries that were still running. So for some of them, they lost about 600. The other ones lost 300 because it was still in the position technically. If you guys heard that order filled at the end, that was because I had a couple of stragglers that were sitting. I thought all of my orders closed out, but not all of them did. So what happened here is I lost on half of my accounts the full stop loss. And then right here, the other one I just closed out right there where it closed me out at about 300 negative. So, all right. So if price closes above here, I'll look again here for another opportunity, but you guys can see from the candles how they're currently moving. They're not really moving very smoothly as we were used to from last week. A lot of this is because of the news that's going to happen this week with the interest rate cuts. So price is now above the pivots. If price pulls back down for retracement, there's going to be another opportunity for a market flow V2. And it looks like I just got caught manipulation both ways today. For the breakout, got caught in the manipulation to the upside. And then for the market flow V2, I got caught in the manipulation down here. So there's a possible market flow right here. It's currently active now. Let's see. Yeah, it's currently active now. If it swings back up, this would be a trade, but I'm not in this position. So just a heads up, guys. I'm just showing you guys examples of the market flow V2s. Again, you guys can see how the market here is currently moving. It's not very consistent with the direction. Typically, you want this to happen. Price push up, bounce, 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 bounce. But right now, it's not really doing that. It's kind of just going back and forth. It's getting manipulated up, pulling back down, and now consolidating within this middle area. So this is why I cut off at one trade. So if I lose one trade for my market flow V2s, I already know the market's not moving how I want it to, right? So instead of risking more and continuing to trade, I pretty much just wrap it up for the day on my own personal accounts. This is typically how we used to trade before when we used to do the negative risk reward. It doesn't really make a big difference because even when we were doing the regular market flows and we we're doing the 15-15, I would still be risking about the same amount. And once I lose a trade, I typically stop because I don't want to trade on tilt. Most of you guys know what trading on tilt is. Trading on tilt is like when you start to revenge trade, overtrade, start making mistakes. Since I took my first loss right there, I'm not looking to dig a deeper hole for me this week. Today's Monday, so we have a whole week ahead of us. There's no need for us to really force anything here. But let me just put the screenshot for that trade. Not the way I wanted to start this week off, but it's okay. You know, sometimes weeks start off like this where they're not very smooth, and then they start to pick up later into the trading week. So there goes the first trade right there. That was at 6:37. I'm gonna post that over here. $6.37. Market flow V2. All right, so we got some red to start off this week, which is okay. Let me check the calendar real quick for the day or for this week. So this morning we had some news at 5:30. Let me just mark that up real quick as well. So yeah, news over here at 5:30. I don't think it affected our current entry or any of the other entries because it's so far down below here. So we had some news over here, 5:30 a.m. And then we're pretty much clear for the rest of the day. For the rest of the day, we're pretty much clear, but we have news tomorrow. We have retail sales. And then, of course, on Wednesday, this is a big day that everybody's waiting for. We have building permits pre-marketed. Then we have the Fed interest rate decision. They're forecasting it to be a 25-point basis drop, but it can go upwards to 50 points. That's really pretty much all the talk for this week. This week is pretty much whether it's going to be a huge cut or a small cut. Small cut's more ideal, but the big cut can happen. And then on Thursday, we have initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, existing home sales. And then on Friday, it's pretty much clear. So realistically, this week, Wednesday is the big day to look out for. There's some news tomorrow pre-market. There's nothing else for today. For the most part, today's pretty much going to be clear. And we'll see where this ends up going. So that sell signal still hasn't closed yet, as you guys can see. Price is just kind of bouncing back and forth from where it's currently at. Here, I'll mark up structure on the clean chart. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I know we talked about having the mentoring sessions weekly again. I'm not going to have it today because I'm busy today, but we will have it tomorrow if you guys want to have it tomorrow. So tomorrow, 2 p.m., we'll have the mentoring session, group mentoring session. We'll review the strategy and a lot of other strategies that we've been kind of looking at, mainly the breakout and then the market flow V2s. There's no actual market flow entries here, so I'm looking for some actual market flow entries, but it does not look like we have anything here yet. Yeah, there's nothing here yet. I mean, technically, it could have been one right here. This could have possibly been a market flow right there, an actual one for this one momentum. So we had the buy signal push up right here. We had price retrace, never came up for the correction. And then this one over here could have been the possible market flow entry. Or if not that one, maybe the one right here next to it. So we got price pushing back up right here. This could possibly be a market flow V2 if anybody's looking to take it. I'll keep looking at entries here and I'll mark them up for you. But again, like I said, I'm done trading for the day on my own personal accounts because I don't want to trade on tilt. So it looks like this one over here would have been a full TP. So you guys can see the entries are hitting. It's just I got caught in this one right here. So there was one entry over here for actual regular market flow. This one over here was for a market flow V2. My explanation for this right here again is price closed above the pivots. It came back down, bounced off the pivots, and that's where your pending order would have been waiting right here. But you guys can see from the market direction right now, it's not really moving very directional. It's pretty choppy right now. It's really just going sideways. There'd be another market flow right here, V2, if you guys are looking to take that. So this would be another one right here, right next to it. I'm not in the position. Again, I'm just showing you guys where it's at. But if you guys have any questions regarding this, I can show you guys where it's currently sitting. Let's see. Hey Stanley, just saw your message. So are you on the Discord? Let's see. Saw your message right now. Hey Stanley, so to get access to the Zoom link, go on the Discord. Right here, it'll say premium. Look where it says live Zoom links, and the Zoom link will be posted right there. So that's how you'll get access to it, Stanley. All right, so there goes another market flow right there. So you guys can see that market flow V2s are hitting. It's just I got caught in the early entry right here. This is what I was kind of hoping to stay away from. So before I took this entry, I said I was waiting for the market here to slow down a little bit and stabilize before I look for entries. Again, right here. So there's two entries that came up right back to back from each other. Market flow V2 right here. Price came down, bounced off the pivot. Again, this red candle right here, another market flow V2. Price came down, bounced off the pivot, shot back up. So there's two back-to-back wins right there. And then we had one original market flow entry that came up right here. So we still have 10 minutes till 7 o'clock. So there could be another possible market flow that could come up right here as well. So from right here up until 7 o'clock. Is where you can still look for some market flow entries. Yeah, no problem, Stanley. Gotcha. Yeah, Max said he hates trading on rollover days. Yeah, same here. I don't like trading on the actual contract. Like this right here, the actual contract, you always get like this because the pricing is kind of off. And then on top of that, the volatility is kind of all over the place. The rollover days are always a little bit tricky. But we have a lot of other things on our plate too. It's for one, it's rollover day, plus it's Fed week, plus we have the interest rates cuts happening, plus we have news this morning. There's just a lot of stuff happening that's causing the market here to be a little all over the place. But it's all good. Like I said, today's Monday, guys. We have a whole week ahead of us. So this one loss for the day is not really going to affect us too much. We can go on a straight win streak from tomorrow up until Friday, like we did last week. Last week was actually pretty good. If you guys saw the stats from last week, I was actually pretty surprised when I added it up together. So I looked at the stats and if you guys want to see it, just go over here to the announcements, go to expand, and you guys can see all the stats here. So for last week, we had 10 wins and 2 losses. Friday, we had 4 or 5 back-to-back market flow V2s, pretty smooth market. Pretty much for the most part, all the breakouts hit. And then we just had, I think, 2 losses for market flow entries. But for the most part, September's been a pretty good month so far. So hoping that'll happen again. Hopefully tomorrow will be a lot smoother. But yeah, it's just a typical case of the Mondays. So looking at this right now so far, guys, we have price kind of just sitting up here. We're looking for price to come back down, bounce off the pivot, shoot right back up. If we can get that, this is going to be another possible market flow V2 entry, but we just don't have that here right now at this very moment. Once it comes up, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, just looking at this here, you guys can see the manipulation was pretty much around this area in the beginning. And then now the market here is starting to stride through. So we'll see where this goes from here. So I marked up the zones over here, but I think we're at a new all-time high, or we're close to it. We're not going to have any zones up here right now. So I marked up the zones here, but you guys can see they're pretty much relevant at this point because price is so far up. Yeah, it's so far up. It's not even close to any of the sessions right here. So the sessions are pretty much pointless right now. The zones are pretty much pointless. Here's our clean chart. And the clean chart's kind of useless right now too because price is climbing so high. So the only thing we can really look at are these market flow entries if price retraces back down. We're pretty far up, so I'm not expecting this to really retrace back too hard. But we have from here until 7 o'clock. Yeah, so now looking back at how price is currently moved, the market flow entry that I took earlier that lost, it looks like I just got in a little too early, guys. I should have waited a little bit longer, but you can see here, I wasn't expecting this big candle to come up. These candles here start to die down a little bit, so I was like, okay, this is going to be fine. Price came up, slower candles right here. I saw price come down, and I was like, okay, this is going to be a prime entry for a market flow for it to swing back up for a bounce. So I was looking for this to push up, bounce, push back up. But what happened was, looks like we just got caught in this short manipulation right here to the downside. And then this is what I was actually waiting for, right? Because this is how the strategy works well. For the market flows, whether it be the market flow or market flow V2s, those strategies are both directional entries. So in order for us to really take this in a directional fashion, we need price to be directional, right? So for right here, price wasn't directional at all. It came down, it was moving sideways. This is the type of market that you want to be waiting for to be taking market flow entries. But there was no way we could have predicted this was going to happen, right? Manipulation happens every so often, but you can't really predict it. The only thing you can do is pretty much eat the trade, whether it be a win or a loss, and then move on to the next one. So we got about 5 minutes till 7 right here. The market flow V2 entries only run till 7 o'clock. So if this right here doesn't play, if there's no other entries that come up from now until 7, then market flow is pretty much going to be done for the day. At least market flow V2s. I'll keep looking for regular market flow entries, but the market flow V2s look like it may be done for the day. So we got 5 minutes till then. So in order to get an entry for a market flow V2, you need price to come down, bounce off the pivot, come right back up. We're basing this off the momentum. So the momentum here is still bullish from this green candle right here. Momentum is still bullish. So that's why we're looking for the buys here. If the sell signal comes up, then we'll look for some sells. But right now, we're still looking for some buys because we have a bullish momentum right here. So this is the pattern that I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to come down, bounce off the pivot, have my pending order right there if you are looking for an entry. So pending order would just be hanging out right here. Look for it to come down, fill the order, bounce right back up to TP. Or if you're looking for a regular market flow entry, I mean, you're pretty much looking for the same thing. It's just different entry points. So depending if you're looking for a V2 or a regular market flow, one or the other, I mean, you're looking for the same pattern. You're looking for price to come down and bounce off the pivot. If you're looking for a regular market flow, you look for that to swing back up. If you're looking for a market flow V2, you're going to look for the very bottom. So you're basically catching the bottom. Nice. So Jason's all done for the day. What Jason did here is he waited for the manipulation to happen, which was a smart move on your end, Jason. So Jason waited for the manipulation to be done and he just trailed it. So like when price swung back up, he caught the entry when it corrected back up. He knew this was being manipulated right here as it was coming back down. And then I'm assuming you had your buy stop just hanging out right there, Jason. And it looks like he might have gotten in right here. Roll that to the upside. All right, so there's no entry here yet. 6:57, it's getting closer and closer to 7 o'clock. My cutoff for the V2s are going to be right here at 7 o'clock. If you want to keep taking market flows, you'd have to wait for another momentum signal. So you'd have to get a sell signal come up and then look for the buy signal to follow up after it. Let's see. Hey, Brock. How's it going? Brock said, thank you for the advice. Was almost pointing it out that the choppiness could be pending rollover. Need to ask, which prop firm did you mention last week you were looking at that had direct funding? It's called Fast Track. I think Fast Track Trading. That's what it's called. FTT, Brock. I'm not using them yet because they don't have NinjaTrader on them. Once they have NinjaTrader, I'll probably use them. but they do not have NinjaTrader at the moment, so I'm not going to be using them as of now. All right, so there's another market flow V2, looks like it might be coming up right here. So it looks like it just came down, filled it, went straight to TP. So if you guys are looking for that market flow V2, guys, another one right there. Price came down, bounced off the pivot, shot right back up. And if you wanted to take this over here as well as or actually you can't take it as a regular market flow because pretty much done with. The entry happened over here for the original market flow. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to see all of these market flow entries hit, and I just ended up taking the one that didn't hit. So this is the first one over here that didn't work out, but every other market flow that came up pretty much hit full TP. So I took this one right here. You guys can see the arrows where I lost, and then there was like so many that came up. So there's one right here. It's a little frustrating, but I mean, it's all part of the game, right? I gotta follow my rules. My rule is if I take a loss, I'm done for the day. But anyways, so this one over here, I took a loss, unfortunately. This thing came down, manipulated down to my stop loss, came right back up, and then everything else here hit. This one hit full TP, this one hit full TP, and then this one right here hit full TP. So there's 3 back-to-back wins right there for market flow V2s. It's about to be 7 o'clock. This line marks 7 o'clock, so there's no more entries that are going to be available after this. So, I mean, it's all good. Learn from it. I'll understand like in the future, maybe I should just wait a little bit longer. Or what I'll do in the future is I'll let the first entry kind of play through and hit TP. And then once that plays out and it's done, then I'm like, okay, I'll hop in on the next ones. I'll just let the first one be a tester entry before I actually look for any entries. So, that's how we get better at this. We just have to, it's all trial and error. You have to like figure out what works, what doesn't. Now I understand that, okay, in the future, I should probably just wait a little bit longer or just wait for at least one entry to come up and work. And then after that one's hit, then I'll look for the next ones. Yeah. All right, so we'll keep looking for more entries here. There's no more market flow V2s, guys. The cutoff is 7 o'clock for the market flow V2s. The reason for that is because the volatility starts to die down after 7 o'clock. This is a 7 o'clock candle. I'm expecting price to kind of go sideways here for a bit. Like I said earlier, in order for us to take the market flows and market flow V2s, we need to be in a directional market. So we need price to be moving directional like this. We can't have it moving sideways because if it's moving sideways like this, it's going to be easy to get stopped out. So pretty much done with the market flows right here. Market flow V2s and the regular market flows. In order for us to get a regular market flow, we need to get a sell signal to confirm the retracement and then look for the correction back up. So once the sell signal closes, then we'll start looking for regular market flows. Right now, we just don't have anything here at the moment. Yeah, Brock, they do have Rhythmic. I believe so. So you should be good on that. Let me scroll over here real quick. Steven's asking how was the wedding? Forgot to ask her. The wedding was great. It was fun. It was everything we planned for. I'm glad it's all done because there's so much work to plan for it. But yeah, no, it was good. So now we're just home stretch for the rest of the year, guys, for trading. I don't really have anything planned for I'm going on my honeymoon next year. So I had like a little mini moon last week or 2 weeks ago. I was in Playa del Carmen for about a week. That was when I was trading over there in my hotel room. So I didn't go on my honeymoon yet. My honeymoon's going to be next March. So we'll try to figure out how that works. It's going to be like late in March. I'll be in Europe. So I think we'll probably have to not trade for like maybe a day or two because I'll be in the plane. Or maybe we'll be able to trade. I'll see how the internet is on the plane. But I'll be trading from out there. I just got to figure out how the time zones work. Over there. But for the most part, for this year, I'm pretty much my main focus is really just going to be trading. So we don't really have anything else coming up from this year where I'll have to. Yeah, there's nothing anticipated where I feel like I'd have to not host live sessions. So we should be good from now. It's up until the end of the year. So looking at this right here, guys, we currently have the sell signal. Now that we have the sell signal right here, we'll be looking for price to push back up. So, or push down. So here, there's two different things that may happen here. We currently have a sell signal. So if price drops lower, we may be able to look for a market flow entry to the sell side. But if price pushes down, we get a buy signal, and then it climbs back up, then we'll be able to look for a buy entry. So as of now, there's two things that we're going to be looking for. We currently have a sell signal here, so we're either going to look for price to come back down further and provide entry for a sell, or if not, we're going to look for price to come down, swing back up, and look for the buy there. But as of now, there's just nothing here at the moment. Let's go over here to the clean chart. Let me see if there's any more structure here that would be relevant. Not really. Today's kind of a messy day, just by looking at how everything's moving. Like price is coming up and down, but it's not really bouncing off structure perfectly. It looks like price is just really in a big range right now. Yeah, so it looks like price is kind of just ranging. Like this is the actual range. Just a lot of stuff going on this week that's causing a lot of uncertainty. Let me check if there's any news updates. So, I mean, there's a lot of news. Let me just type in YM. Yeah, so I mean, looking over here at the news for today, pretty much everything that everybody's discussing for YM is really just the interest rate cuts. Yeah, like there's so many different like everything here that's covered is really just it's a debate between it's going to be 25 basis cuts. I mean, they even think over here that it might be 100 points by the end of the year. So this whole like the market from now up until the end of the year, it's all going to be about the interest rate cuts because they're going to do the first cut this Wednesday, and then there may be another cut that may happen later in the year, like maybe October, November, or December. I don't think it's going to happen, but there's a possibility that it might happen, and it might not affect you directly, but the market in general is going to be affected pretty heavily because this interest rate cut that's going to happen on Wednesday, it's going to determine whether we're going to go into a recession or not, right? So I know we're not really big on fundamentals here and stuff like that, but the it's gonna be pretty drastic. It depends on how people react to it. Because some people are gonna either be very bullish on it or some people are gonna be very bearish on it. There's not really gonna be a middle ground. So I guess we'll see what happens here once Wednesday passes. And well, not really Wednesday. We'll see what happens at the end of the week. Because there's gonna be a cut. And then after the cut, I think everybody's gonna see how market's gonna react to it. Because if you look at YM, we're currently at the I believe we're at the all-time high. Right? Yeah, we are. So we're at the all-time high over here for YM. Dog's barking. But anyways, so yeah, YM over here is at all-time high. So this is where it becomes tricky because if we're at an all-time high and the interest rates cuts happen, how much higher can it really push, right? Because when the interest rates get cut, then inflation should go down, but I don't know. I don't want to predict too far in the future, but we'll see what happens on Wednesday. Anyways, looking at the current price, market's pretty flat right here. There's nothing going on. If you guys have any questions that you guys want me to cover, just feel free to pop into the chat. I'm not really seeing too much here happening. We have the buy signal that's currently pending right now. So if this buy signal does come up, this is a good sign. this could start setting up for another market flow entry. So once this buy signal here closes, we have about 30 seconds left on this candle. We'll be looking for price to push up and climb up higher from where it's currently at. But at this very moment, there's just nothing here yet. So we have to wait for this to actually close. Once it closes, we'll be looking for it to play through. Yeah, Barack said, yeah, same thing for NQ. Price is not making moves like it usually does. Yeah, I mean, that's just the market in general. I think the market in general this week is going to be a little tricky, guys. So just, keep that in mind. Don't make any drastic moves. All right, so we have a possible market flow setting up right here, guys. So if this swings back up green, this could be a market flow entry. Again, I'm not taking any more entries on my own personal accounts because I'm just done trading for the day. But if you guys want to take this, you can put a buy stop order right there at the top of this red candle. And then if it swings up, it'll fill it and then likely push up to TP. So we got 30 seconds left on this candle. Price has not pushed up yet, so it has not filled. Looks like it would have filled now at this point. Just a heads up, guys, I'm not in this position. So I don't want you guys to think I'm in the position. I'm just giving you guys a heads up, analyzing these trades for you guys and taking them as they appear. So it looks like this here is going to push up further. But you guys can see from the volatility, it's very, very low right now. ATR is currently at 22. It's pretty low for a Monday morning. So I'm not in this position, guys. It's still kind of going back and forth. You guys can see here. This is why I don't really like trading after 7 o'clock. So that's why the cutoff for the market flow V2s are at 7 o'clock, because this is typically what happens. Price starts to consolidate a little bit. It's not necessarily a good thing for these directional strategies. So right here, again, that's why I wouldn't have taken the trade, or that's why I typically don't trade after I've taken my loss, because the market just doesn't seem to be moving very smoothly today. So I've only taken one trade for the day, or I've taken 2 trades. The breakout, which didn't work, and then also for my normal entries, the market flow V2 right here. But you guys can see once 7 o'clock hits, and I mark up this here to show you guys an example. This is typically what happens after 7 o'clock. Say sideways consolidation. And this isn't good for market flow entries because the stop loss is so tight, right? If you're doing a 15-15, way too tight, wouldn't work out. If you're doing even a 10-30, it still would be very tight. So not taking any entries here. I'm just analyzing the chart to see if there's anything here that we can take. Here's our clean chart. So let's see. The volatility is now, I mean, there's not even much here to work with. If you guys look over here, I'll just draw this real quick. Price is just consolidating down the middle. No room for entry there at all. Let's go to NQ, like Barack was mentioning. Same with NQ. So if you look at NQ over here, it's not even going directional either. It's just going sideways. So this is pretty much a sign to just stay out of the market. So I'm actually kind of glad that I put my rule back in place. That I was only Sure. I'm glad that I put my rule back in place, that I'm only taking, like, once I have one loss, I'm done for the day. Because you guys can see over here, if I took that first loss and I kept trading, I would have been trading on tilt for sure. Because this here is not really, I mean, it's easy to get stopped out in either direction, whether you're taking buys or whether you're taking sells. It's I mean, you get stopped out either way. Like, for example, if you took a buy right here, you get stopped out. You take a sell right here, you could also get stopped out. If you guys want to keep taking trades, I'll tell you guys when entries are coming up, but right now I don't think it's a good time to trade. You probably want price to break out of this range. Price is currently going back and forth. Before you look for some entries, I would probably wait for price to break out of this range here. So price going sideways. If you want to take some sells, wait for price to break below, come down lower. If you want to take some buys, look for price to break above and climb up higher from there. All right. Not much going on here. So we still have the sell signal, and it looks like price might be breaking out of that range, or price might just pull right back up and consolidate. All right, yeah. Not really the best market to be trading in right now. So price is still climbing down right now. We'll see if it holds down here. Not looking like it will. So we're getting down to this lower support right there. We'll see if it actually breaks and closes below. We have about 8 seconds left on the candle. Not really too much going on here. Let me go and just mark up. I'll mark up, I think this structure would make more sense versus what we currently had with the whole numbers, because price isn't really respecting those whole numbers very much. All right, turn this off. So here you can see structure a lot better. So the whole range is between this area right here. This is the whole range. This looks like the current range right here. I mean, it looks like this could have just been a whole fake out. This could have been a fake out area. If price stays below this point right here, then I think this would be the actual stuff to focus on. But I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Does look a lot cleaner with the structure here, though. If you guys are wondering how I marked up the structure, basically all I did was I turned on the high-low indicator. I marked up the higher highs. Generally, I'd mark up the lower low. But I think this would make more sense. I would typically drop the higher highs and lower lows, and if there was no lower low here at the point, I would just mark up the support that I would notice. But the structure right here does make sense for the clean chart. The sessions are pretty far, so there's not going to be any session entries here. The SR zones are pretty far too. So these are kind of pointless. Yeah, there's not going to be any zones up here. All right. So there's no market flow entries here because the trend hasn't really shifted. My guess is that it's going to climb back up. Might get a buy signal here, price will climb back up. I just don't think it's going to be a smooth climb. So again, if you guys have any questions, if there's anything you want me to cover specifically, feel free to hop into the chat. There's just not really much here to work with. There's nothing here to, to really take. There's no direction. Price going sideways. Let me go over here real quick. Let's see, CJ said the high level momentum hit over here at 703. Oh yeah, looks like it did, right? So we had a low right here. Trying to see which one are you referring to. So this one over here, I don't think this one would have been, right? Technically, yeah, this one would have been it. This is when you're referring to, I think. The high level momentum. Other than that, I don't really see any other ones. There's one right here, but I wouldn't consider this. Or technically, this one would have played through too. 10 points. Could have been either one, this one or this one. Let's see. William said it missed the BB3 at 7:02 a.m. Yeah, so there's another breakout V3 continuation right here. So depending on which breakout you guys want to take, either whether it's the one on open or whether it's a breakout V3 continuation, there was a continuation that happened right here. There was one here pre-market. There's a buy signal with the green candle after it. I don't think anybody would have taken that one, but the one that happened here on open, or the official one, would have been right here. This is a sell signal, red candle following it. This would have been a breakout V3 continuation, or either one. If you want to take a breakout V3 by itself, that would have been the breakout V3 for 50 points. If you took it as a continuation, that right there would have hit as well. So depending on which one you want to take. I don't know anyone else that's still applying it, William. So you might be the only one. I know there's a couple other people who are taking it, but I'm not sure who's taking it consistently. I know sometimes when people see them, they just take them. But for the most part, I haven't been paying attention to them as much. There was another one right here too, but it was against the trend. It was an invalid sell signal with the red candle after it, but same pattern nonetheless. So that right there is the breakout V3s for the day. Let's see, CJ said the market flow V2s are hitting smooth on the 5-minute. You know, I was thinking about doing it on the 3-minute actually. So let's see, price pushed up right here. See, the problem with the 3-minute is that these candles are going to be super huge. It's hard to tell when the candles are going to be moving smooth or not. That's why I don't think I could really do it on the 3-minute. But I mean, the 3 minutes are hitting super smooth, just like I'm assuming the 5-minute looks just as smooth as well. Yeah, I mean, you could even take the regular market flow entries on here and it'd probably work out perfectly fine. Price came down right here. This would have been a regular market flow entry for a buy. If you're doing it on the 5, though, I'd probably use a different TP stop loss. I'd probably use a 25.50 to have that space and cushion. I mean, either way, it looks like the 1030 would have worked too perfectly fine. It's just the market volatility here isn't very smooth. Well, at least not for today. It was smooth on Friday. So all of last week, the market flow V2s were pretty much perfect. But because of the market conditions today, it's not really moving very smooth at all. There's another buy signal here. Again, if you wanted to take the market flow V2s, for me personally, I wouldn't take it after 7 because the volatility is too low. But if you didn't want to take it, there's possibly more opportunities here that are coming up. Like this one over here could be another possible market flow V2. That right there would have filled at the green line. And then we'll see here if it ends up climbing back up. So this is a market flow V2, and this looks like it could also be a regular market flow entry. So there goes a V2 right there, pushing up to its full TP. And then on top of that, if you wanted to take it as a regular market flow, it's currently running right now in profit. So it's just up to your preference. For me, for my testing, what I've seen is that it works well between 6:30 and 7. You can see over here, it's after 7 o'clock, it's 7:22, and it's still hitting perfectly fine. So it just depends on your preference, guys. Again, right here, another market flow V2. If it comes back down a little lower, there goes the second one right there. See if it pushes up and hits TP. Man, the volatility is so slow though. I think I'd be super stressed out taking these trades because it's not, there you go, full TP again. So there's two back-to-back market flow V2s that just came up. There was one right here. There was one right here. It's based off the bullish momentum. So we had the bullish momentum right here. Price came up, bounced off the pivot, shot right back up, bounced off the pivot again, shot right back up. So there's two of them right there back to back. We'll see if there's another one here that comes up on the next candle. It can't be below the pivots though. So like this would have to close above here, then retrace and come back up. So let's check over here again real quick. Okay, so this candle is below the pivot, so there's not going to be any more momentum. There's no more MFV2s right now. I'm just going to call it MFV2. Saying it out loud is just, it takes too long. Market flow V2s, I'll say MFV2s. It makes more sense that way. There's no more MFV2s right now because price is below the pivots. Again, if you want to take another entry, you can wait for price to close above it, come back down, push right back up. But at this moment, there is no entry right now. See, Stanley's asking, is the ninja chart and TV chart supposed to be 1,000 points off? No, it should not be off at all. It should be exactly the same, Stanley. What symbol are you on? If you're on US 30, then you're on the wrong symbol. That's probably why it's 1,000 points off. But it should be exactly the same. The number should be like identical. Like I'm looking at my chart right now, it should be exactly the same number on because you're trading the same asset. So the only reason it would be different is if you're trading something like US 30, because that's not what you're trading. This is an indice. If you're trading the actual future, it'd be YM. Yeah, no. So oh yeah, because you joined in late. So I know you're not familiar with the futures market, but we trade based off contracts. So if you're in YM1 right now, it's gonna be off by like, let's see, it's gonna be off by a bit because this is on the old contract. This is a continuous contract. On NinjaTrader, you're on a YM December 24, right? That's where you should be on right now. So if you're on a YM December 24, it'd be this one right here, YMZ 2024. So when you go to YM, just click this drop down right here, and you should be on the next month. So this is the one that you were on before September, but the September contract expires, and you're now moving on to the December one. That's why I'm on this one right here. So you see my charts, they're all in YMZ 2024. We only have to be on this for the next couple of days, if not like by next week. But then once the next week flows through, the continuous will catch up to it. Right now it's not caught up, but it's so you have to trade on the actual contract. But once it catches up to it, we'll switch back over. Like once this is switched over to December completely, we'll be able to use YM1 until December. And then once December hits, then we'll move over to March. So it's like 3 or 4 months. Every 3 or 4 months, we switch over to the next contract. So just use this one for right now, Stanley. Use YMZ 2024. Or if you can't type it in, just go to YM right here, click the drop down, and then go to YMZ 2024 and just make sure it says December 2024. Because this is the contract that you're on NinjaTrader. That's why the pricing is a little different. All right. So we have a sell signal right here. If you guys are looking to take a market flow V2, if you're looking for the market flow V2, you look for price to retrace up, bounce off the pivot, come back down lower. We're just getting like random spikes. So if you guys look at the current price move, it's not really consistent at all. So you guys see here how like price moved up, it was super volatile, came down super sharp, consolidated for a bit, shot up, came down slow, consolidated, spiked out both directions, down, up, came right back down right here. So this is kind of typical of what I was talking about earlier, guys. How the market is not going to be very consistent. You're going to see a lot of manipulation because there's a lot of stuff going on this week. There's nothing specific pushing price like this. Let me check the news adjustment real quick. So let's see. I've been using the news here for my on my Thinkorswim. It's just you get the news a lot more quicker here, like the breaking news. So I'm looking over here, and there's just like it's just a different analysis based off like the cut. So if you look at it, pretty much any of the news events that come up right here, all they're talking about is their analysis, whether it's going to be a big cut or a small cut. So every time somebody's analysis comes out, it kind of just spikes price a little bit. But there's no other catalyst really pushing price. It's just whenever someone has something to say, someone has an opinion about what's going to happen on Wednesday, kind of just pushes price over a little bit. But there's no actual news event. So check over here on Bloomberg. I have a Bloomberg account now, so I've been just using this to see for any breaking news. But there's like really no breaking news right now. So, yeah, there's nothing that's come up. So there's no real catalyst that's pushing price out. It's just kind of just market manipulation pushing price up and down right now. So I'm looking over here. The last update right here was 36 minutes ago. It said Uber Tesla partnership is possible down the line. That doesn't really affect us too much. And then this is probably the main thing right here. S&P opens little change about an hour ago. All right, so there's no market flow entries here. If there's a market flow entry that comes up, I'll mark it up for you guys to see. It's just easier to see when you see it during live market conditions, because when you look at it from a back testing phase, it doesn't necessarily give you the exact movement. So we're getting close to the sessions right here. Here are the zones that I drew earlier. There's just nothing here to work with. Price is kind of just sitting around. See if price comes any lower. Obviously, next target's down here. From our main chart, let me mark up opening price. Price actually pushed past it already. That's just my messenger, guys. Do anything there. Let's see. William said pivots have to be confirmed for MPS, right? I think they have to. Yeah, that's right. There has to be a confirmed trend before you take anything for the MPS. Yeah, William said, I swear, if the pivots were confirmed, the show is acting like an MPS at the moment. Yeah, no, exactly, it does. I mean, it's technically confirmed at this point already. Well, now it's crossed over, so it is confirmed at this point. Everyone kind of applies the MPS differently. For me, if you want to have fixed standards, then obviously you want to wait for the trend here to confirm. Some people just take them before they even confirm. Because I mean, it's the same setup right there, right? Price comes down, retraces up. This would be another entry right here for MPS. So you can see here, right, William, that all the strategies are very similar. The MPS is very similar to the market flow. The market flow is very similar to the market flow V2. It's just different entry points. So like, for example, if you're taking the MPS, you're having a sell signal here, price comes down, retraces, comes back down further, right? That's an MPS. If you're looking for a market flow, you're looking for the same thing. Sell signal, price comes down, retraces to the pivot, comes back down, entry right there. And then same with the V2. Like price comes down, you're waiting for it to come up and bounce off the pivot right here. And it's the same thing. It's just, they're just taken at different entry points. So realistically, we've never pulled away from the MPS strategy. It's just different entry points. The MPS happens typically like in the open, like for example, right here, if you have a level that's somewhere that you're looking for, you take it somewhere like that. But for the most part, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, William said it is. I like how they're similar, all intertwined. Yeah, there's different. So it gives you different opportunities to make money in the market. You can make money off the level retracement. You can make money off the pivot retracement. You can make money off the pivot retracement to correction. They're pretty much all the same for the most part. But with the current market conditions, you can see that there's not really much here to work with because of there's just not much consistency. Like when you guys are taking trades, the best case scenario is this type of market, right? Because whenever price comes down, take the buy, right? You're just buying the dip. And then same when price is going the opposite way, right? When price is climbing down, you're catching the top. And we're getting like these big spikes. So like earlier this morning, if you guys remember, so for my breakout entry, I was aiming for a sell, and look where price is coming back down to. It's literally coming right back down to where I was expecting it to come. So I don't know if you're still here, Jason, but it looks like the market is finally correcting back down to where we anticipated it to. So I was anticipating a reversal here, and it's finally coming back down. It's just, this whole area right here is where we got caught up in. And then now it's coming right back down to where we expected. It's all good. I'm kind of glad that I'm out of the market because I feel like if I was trading this market right now, I would be a little stressed out. Because of the way that the market's currently moving. There's just no direction. All right, let's see if we get another market flow right here. Let's see, Brock said, yeah, no, I've gone that too. I think it's because it's not a protected website, Brock. Like their website is super, super low budget. I think eventually they'll probably do better. That was the one thing too. When I checked out their website looked super scammy. So I wasn't comfortable with like signing up with them, especially because they don't take credit card payment. They only take um wire transfer or like money order or like money transfer. It's kind of weird because I've never seen a company do that before, right? But I've seen good reviews from them, so I don't know. I wouldn't know until I've done them, so I can't recommend them to anybody. But once I do try them out, I'll let you guys know. Anyways, guys, there's a market flow entry here that just came up. Market flow V2. Looks like it probably would have hit TP right there. There's a sessions right here, so obviously I wouldn't take any trades around this area. But it looks like it came up, bounced off, and came right back down to its TP already. Just a quick trigger and hits a TP and pretty much done with. But I wouldn't take any trades right here at the sessions. So 7:36 right now, guys. We still have some time. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat. Otherwise, if I don't see anything come up here from now until like 7:40, I might be wrapping it up pretty soon. Yeah, Steven said another boring day. Yeah, I know. Well, No, it's actually not another boring day. It was like the whole last week was good, Steven. I don't know where I know you were waking up late every day, but yeah, this is a boring day today for sure. The last week was actually really good. Yeah, because we haven't had a boring day in a while. It was actually pretty good. If you look at our results from like last week, it was like last Friday was really good. So we took, you guys can see over from Friday. It was like a pretty, I think last Friday was one of the best days we had in a while. We had the breakout was a full TP for 100 points. And guys, from the results, I'm changing. So we're going for 100 points on the breakout, but I'm weighing it down to 30 points so that it'll kind of like balance out with the regular scalps. Okay, so I just want to make that clear if you guys are looking at the results. But last week was pretty good. I mean, pretty much every breakout hit last week. So that pretty much carried us over the entire day or like earlier in the week. And then last Friday, the MPS was pretty smooth too. Or not MPS, the MFV2s. So yeah, today's definitely boring, but last week was pretty solid. I'm hoping it picks back up tomorrow. I think it will though. It's just the current market right now with people kind of unsure about what's going to happen on Wednesday is throwing people off, but or not people, but just the actual big players in the market. But let me see. Yeah, so William said he made his own scalp that's similar to mine. Pivot retracement. Gotcha. Yeah, so William is basically applying the same thing. It's basically a MPS entry. A couple people have been asking me about the EM because they try to mimic the pivots here, um, but it's not the same. So these pivots are not EMAs, guys. I know it looks like EMAs because they're lines, but if you put an EMA on your chart, it's not going to line up the same. Because a lot of people have been asking me like why it's not lining up. It's not lining up because it's not an EMA. I created this indicator for myself where it's a combination of different things. It's not a it does factor in moving averages. That's why it has the lines, but the actual the weight of the pivots here are not based off. It's not off anything that you can find within like the free indicators because I created it myself. It's a combination between like a lot of different momentum tools that I've used, and the parameters are very specific as well. Because I know a lot of people are trying to create their own pivots, which is fine. You guys can create your own pivots, but it's not going to line up exactly like mine. Because I know people have been asking me like why it's not lining up, and it's because it's not based off anything that you could find online. That's the whole reason of me creating my own indicators, is because I'm looking for something very specific here that aligns with what I'm looking for. Because so let's see, I put I put something similar on NinjaTrader only because I haven't ported the indicators over to NinjaTrader yet. This is how I'm able to take the market flow V2s because I have something similar on NinjaTrader, but it's not exactly the same point. So if you guys saw my entry from earlier, the lines are never going to be exactly where they need to be. Typically, they'd have to be somewhere like right at the pivot or close to it, but you'll see my lines are like around the middle most of the time. All right, still nothing going on here, guys. Price is still kind of just going back and forth. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to pop into the chat. There's really no direction here. Price is just going sideways here again, like it did earlier. And I'm just not expecting much to happen from here until the end of the session. So yeah, if there's any more questions, guys, hop into the chat. Again, we're having our mentoring session tomorrow. I'm gonna try to do it every week now, like we did before. And then hopefully over time, I'll start mentoring again one-on-one. I haven't mentored one-on-one in, I think, over a year now. I just haven't been teaching at all. Honestly, it's not something that I'm really focused on right now. So I haven't really been teaching at all. But I'll probably start teaching again probably towards the end of the year. I just got a lot of things I have to focus on right now. So I think the closest thing I can do right now is a group mentoring session, and then I'm still studying for the test for the hedge fund stuff. And then once I'm done with that, then I can go back into mentoring people like one-on-one. But again, guys, market here is not really doing too much. So if you don't have to trade, I would just sit out the market. I'm definitely not looking to take anything from now until tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow will move a bit smoother. And a lot of you guys have been asking about the forex trade. So this is the Euro USD trade that I marked up from Thursday. It hit full TP over the weekend. Actually hit on Friday. So Friday morning it hit. There was a Euro USD trade right here. Price was below, broken close above the structure right here. It pushed up to the next level. The GU trade over here also hit full TP. There was another one that came up right here on Thursday as well. NZD USD. I think there's an NZD USD trade that's currently running right now if anybody was looking at this. Yeah, so it's still running here from last week. It's currently slightly in profit. USD JPY. I think this thing's gonna be pretty far off. So there is a USD JPY trade that's currently running right now. But it's gonna be pretty far off, looks like. Well, farthest I'll go will probably be 170. Come back and take a look at this later this week. All right, guys. So I think this might be it for the day. I'm not really seeing too much going on here. William's asking, when is the anticipated exam date for you? It's a series 3. If you're trading futures, it's series 3. Series 7, series 9 is for like stocks and stuff. I'm not trading stocks, so I don't need that. For futures, it's series 3. Yeah. I mean, there's no anticipated data. It's just I can take it whenever, really. I was studying for it like pretty heavy earlier in the summer, and then I just kind of fell off once we got closer to like my wedding. I just didn't really study for it very much. It's not like I forgot about the information though. So I think I would just need to focus on like taking practice exams for like a week up until a month, and I'll probably just take it. And then if it doesn't go as planned, then I'll just retake it again like a month later. So definitely by the end of the year for sure. But there's no specific date. Like I don't have a hard date where I need to take it by like by the end of September or something like that. So yeah, I think I might just take it because I'm not really good at preparing for an exam. I'm kind of better at just like winging it and taking it. Plus the exam isn't super hard. The only hard things are going to be like the math questions, which I'm not good at. But everything else I should be pretty much fine at. So yeah, hopefully by the end of we'll see October. But the end of October, I'll take it the first time, and then from there, I'll go from. Hopefully, I don't have to take it again, but if so, I'll probably take it again in November. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. There's not really much going on here. You guys can see price is pretty much just in this huge range for today. It from market open right here at 6:30, it was a huge spike to the upside, spike back down, spike back up, huge spike back down right here, and then now consolidation. So it's just a typical Monday. Again, the interest rate news comes out on Wednesday. So we're probably going to get this again tomorrow up until Wednesday. Once Wednesday happens, we're probably going to get a directional move. So I think after Wednesday, we'll probably get some crazy spikes and then continuous push up to all-time highs or continuous drop to new lows. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll be back here tomorrow, same place, same time for the next live session. And just a reminder, the group mentoring session is moved to tomorrow, 2 p.m. So, all right, guys, if you guys have questions,